Excuse me?
Where's the car?
You don't need no stinking car. Got my summer attire on. What do you think? It's light, it's
Not
airy.
for me.
I heard somebody say, was it you out there? I heard somebody say, it doesn't matter what you build. We want to see you work. So, Jamie proposed an idea. She said, hey, is there a way for you to set up my summer chair? I said, yeah, we'll just hang it off the tree over there. She's like, well, what if I wanted to move it? See, it's just like a hanging
Little hammock.
little hammock thing.
And I knew my husband could come up with a cool way to add it to the yard.
Well, there's one caveat to that. You're actually just going to have to sit here in the shop anytime you want to use it. Ta-da! Thank you. Oh, we're going to build something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. So I got to thinking, well, yeah, anything's possible, right? And this might be something even the beginning fabricator might attempt. Furniture, right? It's cool. It's usable, a little table, a chair, whatever. We're going to make a hanger for this little single rung hammock chair type thing. So the cool thing about this is we're actually going to use leftover car parts through the hook right there. Did you get that?
Shocking. That's okay. I'll take it.
Okay, remember the Blue Demon trike quad, whatever that, that thing, the bait.
We'll send you a link to Eerie Eric's video and leave him nice comments because
No, leave him terrible comments. He loves that.
leave him nice comments because he gets a lot of hate on the Blue Demon.
I thought it was a masterpiece. So anyway,
Super cool. I'll link it though.
we went down to Compton, California, and we had these giant steel rings rolled. If you saw the episode, you'll probably remember them. Look at this. 2-inch square, 1/4-inch wall. Heavy duty. And I'm thinking, a guy bought a couple of these from me. I think I had 4 or 5 of them made because, you buy bulk and save. So I was like, yeah, make a bunch of them. So this will be a perfect base plate. Yeah, no? Yeah, no?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
I
Yeah,
love it.
cool. So there's one piece left over from a project. And then another piece, it's like, okay, well, you want to hang the chair from something, right? This is obviously not going to tip over. This is a great base plate. But okay, so what do you do for the holder part? And then I remembered this piece. So this, it's like 2 or 3-inch heavy wall tube. This was on the back of an art car that my friend Stone and I made. It was this weird, like, amphibious vehicle. You've probably seen the stuffed animal looking characters that drove these little 6-wheeled amphi cars. But we made this big thing on a dually chassis. And on the back of it, Stone is a really talented sculptor. And he had made like a claw game, like a giant claw on pneumatic cylinders. So this had a pulley in the back. And this stuck way up in the air off the back of the R car and had a big claw game that you could drop and pick stuff up with.
What year was that one?
I don't know, but I'll give you a picture of it. If I could find one with the claw. We took it to Wasteland Weekend. So look at that, right? Does that not represent what we're looking for? Is it way too tall? Heck yeah. That's what we're going to figure out. So I would like you, my faithful assistant and charming director and master of ceremonies. Let me know how high up you think you want this. Because you got to get into it, but you don't want to be hanging on the ground.
Yeah, right about there.
And we can put it on a chain so it's adjustable.
That's what I was thinking. A chain would probably be best.
So maybe we'll come in with the top of the hook right about this height.
Yeah.
Let me measure that. And it doesn't have to be anything too critical. I got a plan to make this infinitely adjustable. Well, not infinitely, but quite a bit. So my hand's at 7 foot right here.
Okay.
So we'll start the bidding at 7 foot, Bob, and then we could drop the chain.
Okay.
All right. So this, and I like this angle too. If you're standing here, like I wanted to, just for my visualization, you want this hanging somewhere inside the circle. That way it doesn't tip over forward. You dig?
Yeah, that would suck.
The last thing you want is for it to go over on you. So with this little deal here, it's in a reasonably fair place. I think we could come back. Oops. Yeah, that's right on center. Oh, so look, that's 8 feet. We got to cut 12 inches off the bottom of that. Measure up 12 inches. Put it in the large saw. Now the question of the day is, did I unplug the saw? What's your bid, yes or no?
Yes.
Closest bid to yes without going under wins a free hammer. All right, we're just going to be on the Price is Right reference of all the things to say. All right, 12 inches off of that. And we also see how this has got like the key ring style overlap in it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that. We want to cut that so we can butt it together and weld it. So see here how the machine can only grip so much of the material. See how it's flat? And I run into that all the time with my ring roller, with the tubing bender. It's always kind of got a little edge on it. So we want to cut it right through a nice curve. So cut through both of these pieces with the big grinder. Get out of there!
Oh, that's scary.
Find out there's a dozen more in there.
Oh my god. He's just like, gotta go.
All right, so you can see I'll be able to line that up with a clamp.
So
Well, that mouse is a little unexpected. Jamie had a good idea. Let's see if there's anything else in
we
there.
want to make sure they're all out.
Yeah, that was just a rogue event. There's no nest or anything in there.
I think he was just in there hiding. Okay, good. I feel better because I would feel so bad if we were trapped in there.
All right, so what I'm going to do is push this down, and hopefully the clamp won't pop off when I go over to reach the welder. Like it. Bada boom. Now when I step off this, it should all just come apart. Oh, we got it. I get the welder. I noticed that this wasn't joining up perfectly, but that doesn't really bother me because our tube is going to land right on that join. So even just a wee bit of mismatch won't be an issue. All right, so you can see the gap here. It's pretty substantial, but it's 1/4 inch wall tube, so it's going to have a really good root gap weld in there. So a little bit much, but for decorative stuff, it'll be fine. Just trying to keep the wind off. Always a problem. So if you're zoomed in, you notice how the difference between how I weld sheet metal and how I weld this structural stuff with just the solid burn of weld? And see how the weld is below the surface? Can you get that on the camera?
Go ahead.
You can see how the weld is undercut to the surface. Usually there's a ridge, there's a bulge of the weld. So with structural steel, many times you'll run a root pass like that so that the inner dimension of the material is welded, and then you come with a cover pass after that. So I'm going to put a root pass all the way around and then come with a cover pass to finish. And again, full weld beads like this require a good amount of wind shielding. A lot of times you'll see on the car, it goes buzz, 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 but this has got to count. So I'm welding down inside the opening of the two pieces of material. And you can see it's down in there. There's nothing showing on the surface. See the gap's a little tighter on this side. So somewhere in this range is what's appropriate for just a butt weld on this. But again, this is ornamental. We're going to have a big tube capping over it, so I believe this is enough. Right, so we got that one right there. Now I'm going to cover pass it. A little bit of wind. Sometimes that's what you get working out in the breeze. All right, cool. So that's that. Good solid joint. Now, I'm going to show you this material. All right, so this is just a representation of what's going to happen with our angle of the dangle. So this is going to come in, but not like that, more like that. So we're going to want a little bit of an oddball offset on this. And then we're going to cut it. So I'm going to set this up under the rafter. Make an educated guess. All right, we have to prepare some strapping. There's some strapping right there. Very high tech.
I must say.
So I'm guessing. How's that look to you?
Perfect.
Love it.
Ian, I noticed you posted on your Facebook that show we were watching last night. I'm going to link it on here too.
Okay.
Ian was on an episode of Monster House, and it was his first time ever being on television.
I made a mistake. It was my second because I was on Monster Garage prior to that.
Oh, okay. But he was pretty new. It's really funny and cute.
Very young. A lot of people mentioned I was getting flirted with.
Uh-huh. I mean, I don't blame him.
My heart wasn't in the right place. No, I talked to Jamie about that many times. For years and years, I was Mr. No. 9. I'm solo. So this might be helpful to some people. It's like, well, how the heck are you going to build that thing, right? This is how I would build it. Trying to find where the center of that chair is going to drop into the hoop. I'm coming up with an angle of the dangle.
Ah, I see what you're doing.
And how does that look aesthetically to you?
I like it. I still feel like maybe it's a little too far up front.
Okay.
Don't you? Don't you think it, like,
I think it's too tall.
then when
Once
you
we
break,
lowered this, it changed the come
it'll
around.
change the,
Yeah. So, okay, so let's get that into position, and then we'll make another cut to bring it straight down. So that's pretty close to center right now, because it's going to come back onto that. This is going to move back up onto there, but just another rough estimate. And I like how this is kind of evening out at horizontal right here too. Initially I thought it might droop over, but this curve doesn't provide for that. You can cut twice. You can't uncut it. I mean, you can, but then it just looks like not as cool as it could be. All right, well, we landed at 11. 11 it is. See, it's that simple sometimes. I do like how it takes some of the long straight off of it. It's more in the flavor of the curve. Let's see what we got. All right. It looks like we got to come back. How about that? It's your call, no pressure.
So can you tilt it back just a teeny bit more?
Yeah.
I think right there, because that's pretty much center, right?
Roughly. And again, there's some weight back here, so I would personally favor it just a little bit over center. I'm looking at the half and half of the circle. And then this you want relatively vertical, but we can set that up with a square after we get a tack weld on it. All right, so down at the bottom, I'm gonna make this cut. I'll show you with a piece of chalk. And just be aware that this thing could take off at any moment.
That's why I'm using the zoom feature today.
Excellent. So now we're gonna wanna transfer this angle to the piece. So the gap here is at about vertical, and I can't really tell vertical right here. I'm just guesstimating. Because even if there is a root gap, I mean, even if there is a gap, it's working somewhere in there. Either way, I'm just gonna make a mark at 5/8.
Does it feel nice building something else today? Yeah.
All cars, all the time. You saw I took the dune buggy for a ride yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't put a shirt up yet. I forgot.
Now, if you're watching the socials,
Ian got his dune buggy. It's finished. It's finished because it works.
also I just want to say, like, my life isn't 100% cars. I have other interests. And this type of fit up is it's useful information if you're building whatever universal fabrication thing, you know, with the welding, the fit up of this, you clean before you weld, especially on structural stuff. I mean, even if it's not cars, there is something to get from everything in life.
Clean.
You saw it first. You saw it live here. Filmed live in front of a studio audience. Love your editing, by the way.
That's so funny, the live studio audience.
The bleachers are right out there. Sometimes they really applaud. Okay, now it's time for you to make your call. All right, so I'm gonna have to weld this while I'm holding it, and then bend it into shape. Because something to think about too, if you have this model welder, not a good design in my opinion. The cooling fan always blows right out onto what you're welding. Just a little heads up. So I've come to realize you gotta turn the welder away from the work on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right, so this is where we're seeing it hanging straight down. It's a little left of center, and we want to pull in a little bit more. So I'm gonna weld back here, and I'll be able to pull it back, which will increase the root gap and give a little twist. Right now we got a little something on there. Pull this back a little bit. Give it a little twist right there. Yeah. How's that look?
Yeah, because didn't you say you wanted it a little off center, a little?
Just just away from the back from center.
I think it needs to come back just a tiny bit. But I mean, I guess my bottom will be closer to the inside, and my legs.
Right, yeah, you're gonna be sitting back here.
Because it doesn't. Well, because it's going to be on the chain, so it is going to twist. I mean, I'm cool with it if you're cool with it.
Well, one thing I want to get at, we're not committed to here either.
Oh, that's
If we
true.
find it doesn't work, we can move the hook back.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right?
I like it.
I'm going to go ahead and fully weld this.
Okay. Oh God. Now is the moment of truth.
Well, feels good to me. More weight than you'll ever put on it. Found this cool chain laying in the back. There's all kinds of old hardware laying around the ranch, and I thought that was kind of decorative, especially because it's a little beat up. Got a lot of cool old hooks. This is what I used to hang from it, but I thought it might be a little excessive.
Wow.
And imagine that coming down on your noggin should something fail.
Yeah, that's like total traumatic brain injury.
So that's ow, ow. That is game over.
Yeah.
We're gonna use this one. So we could do any number of things on this. That being the simplest with a little stop. So let's hang the chair here, and we can come up with something decorative up here, but that's just a good starting point, I thought, because you can actually sit in that to test it.
Because I don't know how much give that macrame has.
We're going to find out. This is your moment to shine.
Oh God. It's a little scary.
That's what I was saying.
Hold on. I like it.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a good length.
That's what I was worried about, like your feet to the ground, the orientation.
Yeah, no, I want my feet to the ground because it's a little small. You know what I'm saying? So, I kind of want my feet like on the ground so you can just kind of, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, plenty of room.
Yeah, I like it. It feels secure. It feels nice.
Sweet. Well, that being said, let's commit to that chain placement.
Yeah, I like it.
Do you think
I might actually get a bigger hammock chair to hook into
you
this.
want to move it? You want to move it towards the further from the base plate,
No, it's perfect.
right there.
Because, like, with me, like, swinging around,
That's
it,
what I was thinking. Do your feet touch the ring on equal sides? Are you favoring one side more than the other?
no, it's cool.
Aha. Well, there it is.
But could we make something where, like, you can turn, like, you know what I mean, where it rotates with the swing?
100%. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like it. It's perfect.
Well, we will commit
It's what everyone needs
to
in their
that
life.
placement. All right, handing the camera back. While Jamie was gone, let me zoom in here. Ooh, yeah, there it is. I cleaned up all the weld area and then wire wheeled all that. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna put something to hold that chain on, and then we're gonna paint her. Always got to think for little finishing touches. Like I hate to see just an end cap on there. I'm gonna weld that right on, favoring the top so that our chain never slips off. And put a little button right there. All right, so this is an outdoor piece. It's gonna live in the desert. It's gonna get repainted every year, guaranteed, because I'm not gonna powder coat this thing. So, quick bit of prep. I'm gonna get the spray can and give it a gold treatment. This is another challenge of desert living. We've learned that the paint out here lasts a year if we're lucky. I keep it in these old refrigerators that aren't plugged in, but at least they got some insulation. It gets so hot, so we don't know. This is last year's can. The Rust-Oleum hammered finish, because this is an imperfect finish, so I thought we'd just give a little texture to it. Then we're going to top coat it with a nicer gold. This will be a good gold base coat now.
You're very skilled at the spray paint, aren't you?
Back in the subways in New York City, we called it can control.
You could probably paint a house with spray paint. Some women want cars
Furs.
built for them, diamonds. I just want a cool hanging chair thingamajiggy.
Golden ring. Two rusty old pieces of metal makes quite a lounge chair holder. I like it. A little warm in the shop nowadays. There it is. Got it. All right. Let's go get some tacos and let that dry.